It's the worst of the CBC for March 29th, 2022. The show where I watch the CBC so you don't have to. And I have an announcement to make. The CBC won. They broke me. It was that bad. I had to start drinking during the middle of the day. I just couldn't do it anymore. And I changed the filter on this thing to make me look like a dramatic teenage girl. You know I'd never do that, but it's that bad. I'm going into full melodrama mode. I mean, it just driving me blue. This, again, you guys know how much I hate the fucking windmills. If you're going to be mad at me swearing as you don't want your kids to hear it, kids, play with live hand grenades instead of watching the CBC. That's your parenting advice for the day. Parents, give your kids hand grenades over the CBC because that's much safer. Okay, they're going to go crazy. And I'm declaring the CBC a terrorist organization. I'm just doing it. The friggin' environmentalist bill. So Trudeau passes a $9 billion spending with Gilbo, Dadilbo, Jabilbio. Jabilbio, Minister Jabilbio, the one who got arrested for, being an eco-terrorist. He's up there, everything must be banned. No more fossil fuels, no more gas. And yesterday I had to explain how friggin' gas is inelastic and energy is inelastic. You cannot price an inelastic good in the market, but they're going to do it magical fairy dust thinking, where it's going to mandate everyone has electrical cars. That's it. We're just going to mandate that you, who might make, let's say $75,000 a year or whatever, you're middle class, you have to buy a $100,000 electric car in 4 years. That will solve the planet. That will make it. And then, there's, again, never any cost, pricing, environmental, bliggity blue on what the environmental impact of the friggin' mining of cobalt, nickel, and all the rare earth minerals needed to make the electrical vehicles. And plus the fact that Canada has regulations on oil and natural gas that when you frack or get oil out of an area, you actually have to restore it to the way it was. None of that for any of the eco mining, for green. I hate this. I hate this so much because it's going to cost us billions of dollars and it's going to make things worse. It's going to make things worse. I have to say this every friggin' time. The only country that met the friggin' Paris Accords was Donald Trump's America, because we have to do this again. We have to do this. Okay. We had coal, and coal burns pretty dirty, right? You had the big smokestacks on the riverboat. Coal, bad coal. We need to get rid of coal, except the only thing coal is really used for now is to build Chinese wind and solar panels that we then sell back to the States. All right, not ranting about China right now, maybe later. So then the great thing about coal is it made energy, but the great thing about oil is it kind of took coal out of the market for the most part, because oil is a much more efficient, hydrocarbon than coal, which means when you burn oil, you get a lot more of the energy into the reaction, okay? We have to talk, someone needs to teach the Liberal Party the second law of thermodynamics. Green and NDPs too, and half of the Conservative Party apparently. When you burn up a reaction, coal, let's say 30% of the coal you're burning gets turned into energy. That means 70% is waste, pollution, or inefficiency, emissions, whatever you want to call it. Oil is great because it was like 70% of it was burned and turned into energy. 30% was waste. Natural gas is amazing because it's like 99% efficient. It's great. It's a godsend. That's why Trump's America, by deregulating the natural gas industry, managed to meet the Paris Accords because they were producing so much less emissions, i.e. waste or pollution, because they were switching to natural gas over the other stuff. And it was great, and it was better. But the fucking CBC won't ever acknowledge this. Instead, they talk about the 2030 and the net zero 50. What? Net zero emissions? Like, literally. Why can't we at least get someone who copied my science homework in high school into the government? Net zero? Zero emissions in 2050. The second law of thermodynamics won't go away by 2050. You cannot have zero. You cannot do it. It's impossible. It's impossible. And it's drive me crazy. Instead of they went to go to the friggin' who's going to counter the Liberals. The Liberals do their thing, and they had Justin Trudeau speaking, which was I was being waterboarded with just stupidity for way too long. And then they cut to Justin Trudeau. I'm like, oh God, Justin Trudeau. And they cut off Justin Trudeau talking about this because Elizabeth May has something to say. So the official opposition is not even the official opposition, which is the Conservative Party, not even the second biggest party in the bloc or the NDP. No, it's the friggin' Green Party with 2 MPs. Are we gonna even talk to the Green Party leader? No, we're talking to the de facto leader, Crazy Tree Lady, and let's get her views on Ahmed Carter. Omar Carter, whatever. I mixed up Ahmed Hussein and Omar Carter. Who cares? Who friggin' cares? They're all idiots. So this is how they frame it. Because then they're like, oh, there's controversy, right? The liberals say we should spend $1 trillion, gazillion dollars to reach net zero 50, whatever. Okay, so we have an incredibly far left take. Then we'll do an insanely far left take and see where the middle is between these two lunatics. Absolute lunatics who hate this country. Fucking. So then we have fucking just, and you know, I see it a lot, and it just breaks me. All right, it just breaks me. Stupidity, anti-science, just hatred of reality. The CBC hates you and hates reality even more. They don't live in this world. Then just to push me over the edge, the next story that they spent 20 fucking minutes on is hockey is racist. This is Canada's national broadcaster talking about the GTHL, the Greater Toronto Hockey League, which, again, I played hockey as a kid, so I know this thing, being racist and sexist and homophobic, and it's so terrible, and everything, so it's friggin' Toronto kids playing hockey. It's not that bad. And they did an investigation to find out that kids chirp each other when playing hockey. And they're like, oh, it's so misogynistic, the terms. They said things like, you play like a girl, and those are tamer things. You look at the report, yeah, you're playing hockey, and someone's going to call you a fucking pussy. Grow up. Grow the fuck up, everyone. You're a bunch of pussies. The CBC, pussies, all of you. YouTube safety comment, whatever thing, because I swore, you're also a bunch of pussies. Oh, I can't play hockey in Toronto anymore. Who cares? Then they set up, I love this. This is like what just drives me insane. They then set up a hotline to snitch on your fellow teammates to the police for calling you a fucking pussy, because that's what a bunch of pussies do. I love it. They created a hotline for barbaric cultural practices. But remember, hotlines for cultural practices like, I don't know, forcing teens to commit suicide, like happens in Mississauga and Peel region all the time. We have an honor killing problem in the country. That's totally fine. Honor killings and female genital mutilation, no hotline for that. That's racist. Instead, we'll have a hotline in case someone says something mean to you on a hockey rink, which is the point of being mean. Like this hockey, okay? We've known this forever. Like what's said in a hockey locker rooms and arena, it's like to toughen you up. No one really means any of it. You chirp each other, like, and then it doesn't mean jack. Nation of a bunch of pussies. So what's it on the Rosemary Barden scale today? What's our Rosemary Barden scale score? It's 1 billion. It's so high that the score is Rosemary Barden's literally going to come into your house and lecture you on gender and race and diversity. That's how high it is. It broke the scale. The scale is broken, which means Rosemary Barden has actually come out of the TV. She's now a real thing. She's roaming the streets, and she's coming for you. And that's how bad it is. Oh, my God. Needless to say, I will not be watching the CBC tomorrow. I'm declaring tomorrow a vacation day. I'll write an extra article. We're going to take down the carbon tax tomorrow in print. If you want to support the show, click links below. And if you want to join the CBC, I suggest don't. I suggest you don't. And if you want to show your kids the CBC, again, giving a toddler a live hand grenade is much safer than turning on the CBC. So kids, remember, if your friends try and peer pressure you into watching the CBC, you just say no. You say no, and you smoke crack instead. That's the Daniel Boardman way.